Well, Peter Einstein with CF for all, and it's the number 4. You guys are creating like the world's best source of information for anybody who wants to know about free money on the internet, right? It's just incredible. And that's really, CF stands for crowdfunding. So it seems like you guys are really becoming the established go-to source for what's going on in crowdfunding, how to find projects, what are the best projects, and compare projects, who's doing what, and God, I mean, this must take, more than just one Einstein.
Yeah, we have a whole team of Einstein. Yeah, we've got some really, really smart people working for us. We've got our chief executive officer, he's got dual degrees in mathematics and computer programming. We've got and he's not even, he could be our CTO, but CTO with his own skill set. And we've got a great chief marketing officer, and everybody works really, really well together. And the brain power when we assemble, especially when we add our, we have an advisor, Jay Abraham, who's considered one of the great business minds of the planet by some people. So it's a pretty impressive group of thinkers.
But you seem to be on the ground floor of something that's really going to explode. I mean, right now, if you go onto Google and put in crowdfunding, which you guys are in charge of, Google has like 7 million websites already. So what's a person do when they think about, oh God, should I put a project on? How should I put a project, or where should I put money to be a funder and all that? Instead of screwing around with those 7 millions, you just come to your site, right?
Yeah, exactly. From your mouth to God's ears. It is confusing. And we saw the opportunity a while back that when you search for Google, as in a lot of areas, the same thing goes with the airline. Airline. You're not going to look at Google and try to figure out how to book a flight. You're going to go if you don't have a specific airline to work with, and you go to somebody like Kayak, which is a search engine, but it specializes in one particular area. And
so they go to all the airlines and gather it for you, and then you say, hey, this is the best flight to take or whatever, and you don't have to go to the airline. So that's what you're doing for and there's really thousands or more of crowdfunding sites now. You're doing that for them, right?
Yeah, we're in the early stages now, but we still, even at this point, we have about 20,000 active projects, which is still pretty impressive. Yeah. That's going to grow exponentially as we're adding what they call white label providers, which are the people who provide the software for other people to make crowdfunding platforms. Right. And there are also people who allow people to do it yourself, to turn their own websites into crowdfunding sites. So we're working with those people as well. So that's going to grow the size of our network, if you will. So if I wanted to start I had this idea and I want to see if I could go crowdfunding, how could your site help me, think through that idea? Or what can I get from your site? Well, the first thing you want to do, if you're even contemplating going into crowdfunding as as an activity, you've got a project that's been you've been mulling over and thinking, gee, one day I want to do this. Yeah. This is if I could only get the funding to do something like this, my life would be complete. So the first thing you need to do is research it. Look for those keywords, those categories, those subcategories that are similar to what you're going to go into.
You mean on your site, you have like 20, 30 categories. Site, yeah, right. Search, you go, whether it's art or fashion or whatever the heck.
Who else has done this before that you can learn from? Yeah. Were they successful? Did they fail? And we also allow people to find projects that have failed that you might not be able to find normally.
I see.
Gee, that looked like a good idea, and let me check them out.
What happened?
Where did they go wrong so I don't do the same thing?
So you can learn from other people's mistakes on your site that you can't on the other crowdfunding sites because they get rid of their programs once they
Well, they're not. all that proud of
Yeah.
the fact.
Well, I mean, but it's like going to the library to learn something, and we learn from history, and so that's what you're trying to do. But also, you can see, the current people that are, actively crowdfunding on something, what they're doing, that seems to be their success, and you just copy it. I mean, it's the best way to learn to me. See what the winners are doing.
You don't necessarily copy it, but you see, okay, I'm going to be doing. You don't want to come out with something that's a Me Too product,
right?
But what you want to do is you want to say, okay, here's a niche. Here's something that people haven't done before.
Right.
Now that I know what they did do, now it's, if I twist that around, then I have a new thing. I'm filling a need. Somebody may have gotten 90% there, but that last 10% was the difference between success and failure.
Yeah, and that's where it comes in, knowing the market. So you're able to put the market there in front of people to understand the existing market, what's out there for people to support in crowdfunding, and how to be different than them, so that you attract your audience.
Yeah, and then of course, we have another area that allows people to engage the crowd. They get their friends and family behind them, whether or not they've got a rich uncle that's going to give them $5,000, to start their campaign off. We have a thing called crowd credits.
Crowd credits? So that's like money I'm getting when I go to your site?
Not quite, but it's almost as good. Every time somebody uses our search engine, they earn crowd credits. And every time you do a search, every time you click through to one of the projects and learn more, while you're on those projects on the sites, and you spend time there and you watch a video, whatever, those things earn you crowd credits. And when you engage in a question with the project creator and you learn more. So then you have these crowd credits, or your friends have these crowd credits, and they can then donate them to your project. Even before, in some cases, we'll be doing this in the future, even before it launches. And this is important because people will give money to projects that they think other people also
So in other words, with these crowd credits, I could endorse a product and push it up on your website search kind of thing. It comes more to the top.
Actually, the crowd credit score increases the ranking when someone searches for your project. Your ranking will be higher. And they call it SEO, search engine optimization.
Right.
And so it's a way for people to compete against other projects that may be very similar, or compete if you're on a small platform that nobody knows about, but you're there because you think that they specialize in an area, but they're not as big as Kickstarter.
Right. Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You can compete. In fact, not only on a level playing field, we actually tip the playing field in your advantage.
Wow. So cf4all.com, and that's the number 4, and CF is crowdfunding. It's a place really to go when you're really just trying to learn about crowdfunding, because you see what it's all about in one place, because you got everybody contributing their projects to one place, and then to decide if you decide if you want to do a project someday, to see what people are doing, or to encourage other people with your credits. Man, you're playing God here. With these crowd to help promote sites.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily. Come
on, you're a copywriter.
My lawyers are going to have to look that one over.
Well, Peter, this is wonderful, and I think the industry, I've been following it for a year or so now, and it's in certainly need. There's so many flying saucers going around the internet with this stuff, and you are now the one place that has all the data that we can all keep track of and learn from everybody else, instead of spending 15 hours searching different websites. It's all on CF4, the number 4, all.com, right?
Good talking to you.
Thank you, Peter.